Remember last time when our little stick figure friend tried to light a bulb and instead created a miniature sun? Yeah, good times. The problem was simple: too much current. The solution? Resistors. But here's the thing that kept me up last night. Why would you spend money on a battery to push electrons, and then spend more money on a tiny component whose entire job is to stop those electrons? That's like buying a sports car and then immediately installing a speed limiter. That's like ordering a pizza and then throwing half of it away. That's like, okay, deep breaths. Turns out there's actually a very good reason, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why resistors are the unsung heroes of not burning your house down. A resistor is basically the bouncer at an electron nightclub. Voltage wants to push all the electrons through. The resistor says, nah, only some of you. The rest can wait outside. But here's the cool part. Where do those blocked electrons go? They don't just disappear. Energy can't be destroyed. It can only change form. And in this case, it becomes heat. Every resistor is basically a tiny space heater. The more you resist, the hotter it gets. This is why some resistors are fat and some are skinny. A skinny resistor, it can only handle a little bit of heat before the magic smoke escapes and it dies. A fat resistor, that chonky boy, can handle way more power. This is called wattage, and we'll do the math later. But for now, just remember, skinny resistor equals low power. Thick resistor equals high power. Got it? Good. Now we need to talk about the absolute dumbest design decision in the history of electronics: the color code. Picture this. It's 1952. Some engineer is sitting in a lab and thinks, you know what would be great? Instead of just printing the number on the resistor, let's use a secret code made of tiny colored stripes that are impossible to see and even harder to remember. And then they made some of the colors really similar. Is that brown or red? Is that orange or red? Who knows? Certainly not your colorblind friend Steve, but we're stuck with it. So let's learn this nonsense. A resistor typically has 4 bands. The first 2 bands are digits. The third band is the multiplier, basically how many zeros you add. The fourth band tells you how accurate it is, which is called tolerance. Here's the full rainbow of doom. And yes, you're supposed to memorize this. People have come up with various mnemonics to remember it over the years, but most of them are, let's just say, not suitable for polite company. Instead, I made up a better one. Big burritos really overfill your gut, but very good ones won't. Let's do an example. You've got a resistor with red, red, brown, gold. Red equals 2. Red equals 2. Brown equals times 10. Gold equals 5% tolerance. So that's 2 to 2 times 10 equals 220 ohms, give or take 5%. Congratulations. You can now decode the secret messages that engineers hide on tiny cylinders. This is definitely a useful life skill and not a complete waste of brain space. Okay, time for the practical stuff. Let's say you want to light up an LED. LEDs are fragile little babies that explode if you give them too much current. You've got a 9-volt battery. The LED wants 2 volts and can handle 20 milliamps. That's 0.02 amps. If you just plug it straight in, you'll have 7 volts of angry extra voltage trying to force through. This is where our friend the resistor comes in. We need to calculate the exact resistance needed to save this LED's life. Here's the math. Remember Ohm's law from last video? V equals I times R. We can rearrange that to R equals V divided by I. We've got 7 volts left over. We want 0.02 amps. So 7 divided by 0.02 equals 350 ohms. But here's the thing, resistors don't come in every possible value. They come in standard sizes. So you'd use the closest one, a 330 ohm or a 390 ohm resistor. Now, what about wattage? We need to make sure our resistor doesn't turn into a tiny fire. Power equals voltage times current. That's 7 volts times 0.02 amps equals 0.14 watts. A standard quarter watt resistor can handle that easily. If you used an 8th watt resistor, it would probably survive, but it would be stressed. And stressed resistors release the magic smoke. So, 330 ohms, quarter watt. Done. Your LED lives to blink another day. Quick question, what happens if you chain resistors together or put them side by side? Do they add up? Do they cancel out? Do they form a union and demand best working conditions? In series, that's end-to-end, like holding hands, the resistances ADD up. Two 100 ohm resistors in series, that's 200 ohms total. In parallel, that's side by side, it's weirder. The total resistance actually goes down because you're giving the electrons multiple paths to choose from. It's like traffic. One lane, slow. 2 lanes, faster. The math is annoying and involves fractions, so we'll save that nightmare for a future video. So there you have it. Resistors aren't scams, they're necessary. They control current, turn energy into heat, and prevent your components from achieving spontaneous disassembly. You now know what they are, how to read their stupid color codes, and how to calculate which one you need. You're basically an engineer now. Congratulations. Next time, we're cracking open the battery. Where does the voltage come from? Why does it taste spicy? And why do smoke alarms always die at 3 a.m? Until then, don't lick batteries, don't skip the resistor. And if you smell burning plastic, that's the magic smoke escaping. Turn it off, subscribe, or the electrons will unionize.